let's talk a little bit about oversaturation in the NP field. I've had some DMs, I've had some people asking me what I think about it. Some people really nervous about going to school to become a nurse practitioner because they're like, well, there won't be a job for me, or it's oversaturated here in this area where I live for nurse practitioners, or what will the pay be like? Or there's so many questions and so many worries. Let's focus today on oversaturation. That's not something, and I'm gonna speak from personal experience. When I was in school, I thought about it like, when I get out, I need to make sure I find a job, but I did not overthink it. And I did not let it stop me from accomplishing this goal. So for those of you who are on the fence about becoming a nurse practitioner because you're like, oh, will I be able to find a job? It's oversaturated here. That's what everyone says. I personally would not go to school because I'm worrying that it's oversaturated where I live. And I guess it's because of my mentality. It depends on your mentality. I am not a person who gives up easily, obviously. I will keep trying. I will keep praying. I will keep going. I will keep applying until it happens. If God called you to it, there is room for you. I refuse to waste my time worrying about what everybody else is doing. Before I became a nurse practitioner, I told you guys how one of my old instructors, I don't feel like she was trying to discourage us. I was in the BSN program at the time, and I don't feel like she was trying to discourage us from becoming nurse practitioners, but she really didn't have anything good to say about it. She said, if you're going into it to make money, then you need to come up with a different plan because nurse practitioners don't make that much money. And she had some negative things to say about it. Do you think I walked out of there like, I guess I won't become a nurse practitioner? No. I mean, I thought about it and I thought, ooh, really? And then I did my own research, which I always preach to you guys about that. Do your own research. And I'm like, gonna go for it. I'm gonna go for it because it's something that I wanted to do. And that's the type of mentality that you have to adopt. You cannot base your life on what other people say. And that's not to say that there's not truth to the fact that there's oversaturation in some areas or saturation in some areas. But I just have this optimistic outlook. It can be a cause of concern for some people, especially if you live in an area where it's really hard to find a job. I guess what I'm saying to you is, one, don't let those thoughts, those worries, those assumptions, don't let that stop you from doing something you've always wanted to do, because things usually work themselves out, especially if God is on your side. If God is on your side, then you shouldn't even be worried about this, right? You have to be in the right frame of mind. You have to operate from a place of abundance. You have to believe that this is going to happen for you. It may not happen tomorrow, but it's going to happen. I mainly wanted to get to those people who have decided they're not going to do it because of these fears. Then you've got to deal with some regret, because 10 or 15 years down the road, when you're talking to your kids or your grandkids and you're just like, I really should have went. I really should have done it anyway. There's so many new grads coming out. They're going to find jobs. There is a shortage of primary care providers in this country. There are jobs available. So you just have to be persistent. You have to pray, and you have to believe. I tend to remove myself from situations where people are just talking negative and people are just talking about all the reasons why I shouldn't do something. If God put it right here, if it's right here, then I'm going to do it. If it's here, if he planted that seed, I'm going to water it, and I believe he'll make it grow. So I hope that you guys find peace with your decision, whatever you choose. And I hope that you have faith that everything's going to work out. It's going to be okay. And I do understand that everybody does not have that type of mentality. And I have thanked God before. I've prayed before, like, God, thank you for giving me the ability to see the bright side, giving me the ability to believe, giving me the ability to know that no matter what route I take, if you are there holding my hand and if you are with me, then who can be against me? I really believe that. And that's why I'm living my life the way I'm living it today. When I'm a person who, by the world standards or by statistics, I'm a person who you would expect me to be on welfare with maybe 6 kids by now, struggling, living in poverty, because I didn't graduate from high school, because I dropped out 1 month into 9th grade, which means the last grade of completion for me was 8th grade. But again, I refuse to believe that I can't do whatever I want to do. I can, as long as I'm not blocking someone else's blessings, as long as I'm not standing in the way of someone else reaching their full potential. I believe that I can do whatever I want, as long as it's in line with his will. So I wish you guys the best, and do your research. Do your research. Do your research on your area. Make an informed decision is what I advise you to do. Some people have really good advice. Some people don't. You know, Taraji P. Henson said that when she was going to California to become an actress, so many people told her, if you haven't hit it by 25 or 20, I'm not sure which one she said, 20 or 25, then you're too old. You're not going to make it. You're going there with your son. You're not going to make it. And she said, if you listen to people, you will never live. I want to live. So before I make any decision, I research it for myself. I don't even expect you guys to completely listen to everything I say. Research it for yourself. Self-research is what you need to do. And then you'll know for sure because you looked it up on your own. And while it's true some places have more job opportunities than others, we also have to keep in mind that people leave their jobs, so new positions become available. We have to keep in mind that new places are opening all the time. We have to keep in mind that as a nurse practitioner, you know, in the future, you could open your own clinic if you wanted to. There's a continuum of new positions opening, people leaving and going somewhere else, people moving. So these things don't stay the same. And that's something we need to remember. These things don't stay the same. So whatever area you live in, while it may be true that that area has lots of NPs and not that many positions, you're not confined to that area. I mean, depending on your situation, I understand that everybody has a different situation, but you could venture out a little bit maybe look for a place that has 12-hour shifts, and then you would only have to go there 3 days a week. Come up with a way to make it happen. For me personally, if I was in a situation where I had applied to a lot of different places and nobody was calling, I would keep applying. That is what I would do. I'm not going to give up. I'm not going to say, okay, forget it. I'm never going to find a job, because then I'm never going to find a job. I'm going to keep looking. I may feel sad some days, like, I can't believe this is happening. But a person like me only feels like that for a short period of time. And then I start thinking about the fact that ever since I was small, God has always looked out for me. So I know that he's going to continue to do that. So then my spirits will be lifted like a short while later. You know what? I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. Let me wake up in the morning and put out 10 more applications. And tomorrow, 10 more. I'm not going to stop. And that's what I want you who's out there, who feels discouraged, who feels like you're alone, who feels like nobody understands, who feels like, I don't know if I should have done this. I can't find a job. Just don't give up. You'll find a job. Don't give up. I hope this video helped you. I hope it touched you. I hope it gave you something, just that drive to keep going and to understand, again, it's a continuum. You have to keep checking. You have to keep applying. You have to keep looking. And eventually, you're gonna catch the fish. So you have to keep in mind that sometimes things don't work out at that time for a reason, because something greater, something better is on the horizon. And I understand that. So when things don't work out for me, I always think, God, I trust you. I know that this didn't work out because it wasn't supposed to. So I've applied to jobs before and I didn't get the job, and I thought, I'm gonna die. I wanted it. That's the one thing I wanted. And then something better came along. So change your mindset, change your thoughts, change your life. Okay? Guys, life is good. Life is good. And expect good things to happen to you. Stop expecting bad things and thinking of all the negatives. Try the opposite. I hope this video helped. And good luck.